Can you believe, as of this video and as this has been released on this day of September 16th, 2023, it's been officially 5 whole years since I started YouTube. It's been an incredible, frustrating, disheartening, joyous, happy journey which continues to go. But this video, I've got a lot to say, so let's get into it. So hello everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel if you're new or returning. Really appreciate you taking your time to check out this video. If you don't know by now, my channel is called Did You See That? And my name is Mike. So 5 years ago on the 16th of September 2018, I joined YouTube. I didn't have a video officially out on that day. I had shot a video before that time, or like kind of on that time, but it wasn't officially released on the channel. Now, 5 years ago, throughout this video, I'm going to touch on kind of certain milestones, certain things that's happened, and you guys are going to see kind of like clips from some older videos as well, which is going to be kind of fun for you guys to see and kind of the differences from there until now. But 5 years ago, I had kind of a dream and kind of an ambition, I guess more so to say. For anyone who doesn't know, kind of like outside of my kind of YouTube and what you guys see on camera, I am kind of like a creative person. I have documented and showcased to you guys that I did release a book called Suicide Rumored that is on Amazon right now. And I've also done a YouTube channel. Now, going to be honest, doing a YouTube channel is not something that I ever thought of doing before 2018. I had no ambitions to do YouTube whatsoever. The way I got into YouTube was through a guy called Curtis at a workplace. I'm not going to mention that here, but he basically got me onto YouTube, and what got me started, he was like, do you watch a guy called Chris Stuckman? I'm sure by now everyone's heard of Chris Stuckman. I said no, so I decided to check out his movie reviews. At this point, since 2015, I'd been attending the cinema by myself, like a Cineworld Unlimited membership, and basically seeing like any movie that is on at the cinema. So I watched this guy's reviews and I was like, yeah, you know, for the most part, I seem to agree. There was a couple of reviews in particular, I can't remember which ones. If I went through like his catalogue, I'd probably be able to pick out. That I just completely disagreed on 100%. So with that in mind, I was like, look, you know, why not just put the camera on? Why not, you know, put a video out on YouTube? If it does well, cool. If it flunks and I do a couple of videos and no one cares whatsoever, delete the channel. Fortunately, the channel has done pretty well. That's why I'm still here today, which is awesome. But that's how I got my start on YouTube. So without further ado, let's roll a clip of one of my first ever reviews. Today I am going to be talking about a film called The Intent to The Come Up. Now, I've never seen the first one. I've never seen the trailer either. So going into this film, I was completely blindsided. I didn't know what to expect. And sometimes that can be a good thing. For example, I've seen a couple of films where, very similar to this, I've never heard anything about it, never seen any trailers, and they've been fantastic films. So I'm going to be honest, got into about an hour and about 10 minutes of this film. It's nearly 2 hours long. And I walked out the cinema because it's a pile of fucking crap. That's what it is. So yeah, that was a clip from The Intent to The Come Up, which was at my parents' house. And if you notice in the background, there was like toilet paper in the background. yeah, don't ask. But yeah, so that was one of my first ever videos, and that for me, like, it did really well. Like, the viewership was great. I remember coming out of the cinema and walking out of the cinema and giving my full-on thoughts, and just the setup of that time compared to now was completely different. But kind of expanding on that and going on from that review, I learned kind of like some techniques, and kind of for the first year and a half on YouTube, I kind of wasn't part of any community. I didn't really know anyone. I didn't do any collaborations. Now, the next part of this YouTube journey, I do have to give a huge and probably the biggest shout out to anyone that I can, and that is to Anthony A. Perez. This has been well documented on my channel and on his as well when we've done collaborations. But for anyone who doesn't know by now, Anthony and I are actually really great friends. He lives in America, in Florida. I live in the UK. So, of course, we don't really see each other. We have met up. Anthony came across my video one day and enjoyed my review. And I was like, well, who is this guy Anthony Perez? I was like, I haven't got a clue. So I scooted over to his channel, checked out a couple videos, and I was like, wow, this guy's really, really good. I could learn a thing or two here, because thumbnails I didn't really have a clue about. That's coming in a future video, by the way. Kind of description boxes, anything like that, again, coming in a future video. And Anthony kind of like reached out, and we started talking, and we started, you know, just having like a conversation. And before long, we got talking, and Anthony invited me onto his channel to review the movie Gravity, which was Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, a movie I'd never seen before, but he invited me on for a collaboration. Roll a clip.
Now that I've rambled quite a bit about my thoughts on this movie, let's go ahead and hear what Mike from the Z Review had to say about this.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm the Z Review, and I've been asked by my friend Anthony A. Perez to collab on this video, which I couldn't be more excited for. This is my first ever collaboration, and he's asked me for my opinion on the movie Gravity that came out in 2013. I remember being invited on for that collaboration with Anthony, and I immediately told my partner Emma that I was invited to a collaboration. She was excited. I was like, wow, this could be like big things for YouTube. This could be big things for the channel. This could get some exposure. But also it's cool that I've met someone from the internet and talking to them and kind of built up like a friendship, so to say. So since collabing with Anthony, I then kind of went on to collab with Richard G.
Let's get to Z Reviews and see what he has to say about Rocky.
What's going on, guys? Thanks firstly so much to Richard G for having me in this review. First time we're collabing. Dave from Interpreting the Stars.
Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars. For today, I am joined for the first time ever by Mike from the Z Review.
What's going on, guys? I'm Mike. I'm part of the Z Review, and firstly, I want to give a massive thank you to Dave from Interpreting the Stars for having me on this review. Jacob Martin.
Jacob with another movie review for you guys. And in today's video, for the first time on my channel, I'll be teaming up with Mike.
What's going on, guys? I'm Mike, part of the Z Review, and firstly I want to give a massive thank you to Jacob for having me on his channel to review the 1952 movie Singing in the Rain. And many more of you guys, but those were kind of the original collaborators that I kind of did some YouTube projects on. And kind of throughout that time, I was starting to feel part of a community. Anthony invited me to a community page on Facebook. During that time, I got to know like Richard, Dave, Jacob, Blacktastic, Justin Lomas, for example, and many more. And through that, really kind of gave me kind of a lot of kind of faith in YouTube, so to say, because before that point, I will just be honest with you guys, I was a little bit disheartened by it, because I say I'd upload every now and then. I'd see like a video maybe not do so well. I kind of used to focus on views and likes and be like, why is my video not doing great? You know, I did know nothing about the YouTube algorithm. I don't think any of us really do, to be honest. But, I was kind of in a place where I was wondering, how am I supposed to kind of catch a break here? Like, what do I have to do to really grow the channel? So again, talking to Anthony at the start of 2021, you guys may have seen, I started to upload and make consistent content and videos 2 or 3 times a week. I used to improve my thumbnails. I would get tips from Anthony and continue to implement that until the point where I'd get like my own style and continue to develop my own style up until present day. So going forward from that point, I start to see progress. The YouTube channel would grow. I hit like 250 subs, then 500 to eventually get into 750, and then 1000, like a huge milestone. It got to a point where I was kind of on a high, and I was like, wow, the channel has gone from like less than 250 subs like less than a year ago to like 1000, like a big jump. Some videos took off, like for example, like I did like a Crystal Maze video, and that is currently one of my highest videos on the channel, which is just absolutely insane. And it's just been a wild ride in that regard. So again, I start to see things going really well, until they got to a point where I actually received 2 copyright strikes. Not copyright claims where you don't get monetized for that video, or that video won't get shown in certain countries. strikes, which means if you get 3 strikes in a row, your channel is out of here and you're gone. And you might be wondering, Mike, what the heck did you do to get those 2 strikes? Well, there was once upon a time on the YouTube channel I used to put some clips on of Back to the Future the musical, and that wasn't to gain money from it because I wasn't monetized whatsoever. It's not to be like, oh yeah, this is my original content, let's just shove that out here. Basically, if you guys know my channel, I do movie reviews, adventure days, vlogs, Back to the Future content, and I like having different audience that maybe check out different kind of videos. So as a big thanks to you guys, which we'll get to at the end. But with kind of putting those videos out, I just kind of want to expand the audience, be like, oh wow, yeah, this guy does Back to the Future videos. Of course, there was a certain page that didn't like that. They put a claim in, and YouTube immediately didn't even put the a copyright claim. It was just a strike. So I had 2 strikes. If I had 1 more within a 90-day period, I would have been gone. So I was on my very tiptoes, but at the same time, my confidence level of YouTube was like up here, and it dropped down to here because I was actually at the point of monetization and actually earning something from doing a hobby that I've always really liked doing. So I was scared. I will be honest. I was very concerned things weren't going to end well, and all this time and effort I've put into YouTube was squandered, which is basically my own fault. So I can't say it's not my fault, it's anyone else's, because it was all on me, and I absolutely accept accountability for that. So anyway, we got over that hurdle, and we got to a point where kind of before this or shortly after this, I introduced a live stream series called Z Talks. Roll a clip.
Yo, so I think that we're live. So if we are live, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is my first ever live stream, and I've got the awesome Richard G. So essentially, the segment is called Z Talks.
So there comes another big shout out to Richard G, who was my first ever guest on Z Talks episode 1, which is crazy because as of this video, I've recorded 55/56 live streams, even done one for charity, raised a whole lot of money. If you want to know exactly, there you go, £533, and that was all because of you guys and helping with the donations, and that was an incredible live stream and an incredible experience. But Z Talks has become kind of a staple, and that helped me to kind of push towards monetization. I was at a point where I was out with my friend Pete Hardy, who has been on the live streams, and I was out in Southampton, and I got an email from YouTube saying you'd been accepted into the monetization program in around July of 2022, and that for me was just an achievement that can't really be taken away, right? Because I didn't start YouTube to get money, and I will say this, I've been open, I don't do YouTube for money, right? Because, I'll be honest, you don't get paid to the point where you can quit a full-time job. I've had maybe an odd payment here or there, that's maybe about it. But I just do this for fun. Anything else besides that is an absolute bonus. Do I want to make YouTube a full-time job someday? Yeah, absolutely. But until that time, I know that is far away, so that is not my focus. Now, since kind of getting to that point, I then introduced Patreon. So firstly, a massive thank you to anyone who is part of Patreon, whether you're level 1, 2 or 3 as of this video. Membership, guys, if you are interested, does generally start from £1 per month, goes all the way up to £5, which includes getting like a birthday and a Christmas card as well. You can also request movies for me to review on the channel. You can literally pick any movie that you want. So if that's not enough, there's more perks. You can read all about that. That is in the link down below in the description box. So since joining Patreon, Patreon's been going pretty well. I've got some very loyal Patreons, and I do generally want to thank them, who is Ryan from RWR Movie Reviews, Ryan Swales from his channel Ryan Swales, Jason the Old Millennial, Adam What the Gym, Elliot from IMO Reviews, Movieman from Movieman, Sarah from Popcorn Chat, Michael O'Brien, Tyler Babb. Generally really beyond astounding, and just really appreciate, honestly, so much. I can't ever tell you guys on camera how much I genuinely and sincerely appreciate Patreon, because any money that is raised on Patreon, guys, just so you know, it goes back into the channel. It doesn't go for my own profit and my own gain and use it for whatever I want outside of YouTube. It actually goes back in to improve the quality of these videos. Like, so for example, so that money has gone in to buy some lights that makes these videos look a little bit better, and the presentation styles looks a little bit better, and other stuff that's on in the background that I can't really tell you about at this moment in time, but that is a huge factor, and it's been very great. So yeah, I would love to see you guys over there as well. Now, after kind of Patreon, so the channel's been doing well. I've been getting some different video ideas. I always try to bring you guys different ideas. From that point, I then launched merch. So you guys can see right here my official Did You See That hoodie, which does come in different colours. New merch is also going to be coming very, very shortly as well. That has been really, really awesome. You guys have been really warm and receptive of the merch. I made sure before I launched it to the public that I got one myself and checked it out, and the material and how well it actually suits, fits, if the printing's good or not, because this is by a company called Teespring, and they produce the merch, they print it and they ship it out to you. I don't actually see or touch any of the merch unless I order one myself, which I did for this hoodie. I will say that the print is pretty nice. It's also not like washed away or anything. It's like maybe faded like slightly, but it has been washed quite a few times now. It's a really good fit. As you guys can tell, it's a little bit big, maybe a little bit baggy-ish, but I prefer it like that. So at least if it goes in the washer dryer and it shrinks a little bit, it's a bit more snug, you know. So it's really nice, keeps me warm, and when we've had cold weather, at least here in the UK, it's comfortable. It's not as if it's like itchy or anything like that. It's been great. So again, if you want to get some merch, link is down below in the description box. But launching merch is something that I've always wanted to do for the channel, and that alone is just a huge feat in itself. Having the ability to do that, and having the ability of maybe you guys actually wanting to buy some and support the channel, yet again, like, that means so much. So in this space of 5 years, what I've learned ultimately from this experience is that YouTube does have its ups and its downs. There's been times, as I mentioned, where I've cared about the views and comments, but just to give you guys a bit of perspective, like where my mindset is with YouTube and like where I am in my YouTube journey. It's been a little while now, but I'm at the point with YouTube where I don't focus on the views and likes anymore. Don't get me wrong, if they come in, amazing. Like, I really appreciate, and I generally appreciate any of you guys who take your time to watch the videos. Do I wish maybe you guys watch more videos? Yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. But I don't want to sit there like every day on the YouTube studio being like, right, refresh, oh, I've got an extra view, you know, and I keep doing that. I don't hold myself to a standard where I want so many views per video, because if it didn't happen, I'd just be disappointed, and I'm not really here to do that, guys. I get whatever support I get from you or from random people, and any support I get, I generally really appreciate that you want to take your own time out to check out my face, basically talking to you on a camera, giving you my thoughts on a movie, a vlog, whatever kind of video, even that's like 5-year celebration video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just kind of wrap this up, and I'm just going to say it to you guys, and the last and biggest important message of them all, as cheesy as it may sound, generally, thank you. You know, without you guys, I couldn't do YouTube, and that is because without your support, without your love, without this community that I've grown, you know, some shout outs just from top of my mind, apart from the guys I mentioned before, everyone else who's been on Z Talks, Sam Glendenning, for example. There's too many people to name in this bit here, so I'm not going to name them all, but basically anyone who's ever been on Z Talks or just watches the channel, just generally thank you guys so much. 5 years down so far. Who knows how many more I've got left in me, but as far as I can make YouTube, I will. And any kind of big life event, big life news, anything like that, I'm going to share with you guys first. Just from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you so much for making the past 5 years an incredible, crazy, wild roller coaster of a hobby. I generally really appreciate it, and until next time, thank you guys. I'll see you later.